Over 7 million people visit Australia every single year, but only 3% of those visits end up on its largest island, Tasmania. We spent several days exploring the eastern side of the island, and we can confidently say that not coming to Tasmania is such a missed opportunity. From the incredible golden hour glow over Wineglass Bay to the fiery red rocks along the Bay of Fire, in this video we'll explore the eastern side of Tassie. Let's begin with our rental car pickup in the capital city of Hobart and head straight for our first spot, Cape Hauy. Welcome to Tasmania, or as the locals like to call it, Tassie. We are at our very first spot. Let's go start this trek.
We're about to head off on our 4-hour journey over to Cape Hauy. Now in this area, there are actually 3 different capes. You have Cape Hauy, Cape Raoul, as well as Cape Pillar. Now these 3 actually combined make a pretty crazy multi-day hike that you could do. Now we're more day hikers, so today we are just heading over to Cape Hauy. It's gonna be 4 hours, 4.4 kilometers one way, 400 meters in elevation gain, but don't worry, the elevation gain is primarily all stairs, so it's nothing too crazy. It is unfortunately a little bit gloomy today, but hopefully once we get there, the views open up just a little bit.
Truthfully, the first half of the trek lacked excitement. It included a lot of stairs and was mostly covered by trees with no view. On the one hand, it was peaceful, but on the other, we were itching to see the insane rock formations that make the Cape so renowned.
At about the hour and 15 mark, here is where the views finally start to open up. This is where you're gonna start to see all the crazy rock formations that you're kind of looking for when you visit these capes. We're at the final stretch right now. We do need to head uphill. We did actually climb downhill quite a bit. Lost a lot of elevation, but now we have to climb up, and then finally we'll reach Cape Hauy.
We made it to Cape Hauy, and it's so much more beautiful than we had anticipated. The walk started off a little bit boring, but once the view started opening up and we're walking up and down throughout the peninsula, it turned out to be amazing. Hopefully you guys are picking this up. The wind is insane, but so are the columns, seeing them so up close and personal, seeing the white water just lapping at the base of the island, and seeing all the other islands around us. The views here are so cool and so panoramic.
Once we got back to the trailhead, we caught our first wildlife sighting of the cutest wallabies. They were just munching away on the trail, so we stayed back as not to scare them off and waited until they moved on. We spent the night in the small nearby town Eagle Hawk Neck before an early start at the Tessellated Pavements.
We had a very moody start to our day 2 here in Tassie. We did spend it at the Tessellated Pavements, which visually do look pretty cool. It would have looked a lot cooler if we actually had a sunrise. Unfortunately, again, very moody and a little bit rainy.
But geologically, the rocks look so cool, even if we didn't catch the nice color hitting them. So millions and millions of years ago, these cracks were formed by the Earth's crust movement on this flat siltstone. And because the siltstone is right by the water, salt water actually comes in with the tide, and salt crystals build in between the cracks, creating these perfect loaves of bread.
And the reason we came to check out this spot is because we're literally staying right across from it at the Louvre Beachside Hotel. They call it a hotel, it's more of a motel, very average, but the location is honestly so convenient. It's in a little town called Eagle Hawk Neck. And we kind of want to stay here not only for this, but also because it was only half an hour away from the Capes. We're gonna go grab a quick little breakfast and then we're gonna hit the road further north.
Before reaching our next major spot on our East Coast drive, we briefly checked out 2 attractions that are also in Eagle Hawk Neck. Tasman's Arch is a captivating natural bridge with a gaping view of the ocean through it. Next was Devil's Kitchen. It was intense to watch the strong white waves spraying against the small gap. This area wasn't particularly tremendous, but the ocean views here more than make up for it. The best part? both these spots are a very short walk from the parking lot. After a quick burger refuel for lunch, we made it over to the beachside town of Bicheno.
We made it over to our next spot, which is in the little town of Bicheno. And the reason that we're here is because tomorrow we're going to be heading over to Freycinet National Park in order to catch one of the best views on the entire island of Tasmania. Now, the hotel that we're staying at is called Beachfront Bicheno Hotel, which we believe is definitely a step up from our last stay. Now, we don't want to just waste our time sitting in this hotel room. We do want to go and check out one of the beaches here, which we also heard has some of the whitest sand on the entire island. We'll have to go and verify that.
On the southern side of Red Bull Beach, we found boulders consisting of granite but layered with bright orange and red hues that covered them. These rocks give Tassie's East Coast its signature look, caused by the lichen that grows on the granite outcrops. There's a specific area along the coastline in which it's most prominent, which we'll be visiting at the end of the video. But for now, let's kick off the day with our sunrise hiking mission to our favorite spot in all of Tasmania, which means driving in the dark at 4 a.m.
It is a very early start to the day. As you guys can see, it is pretty much pitch black outside, but we are really excited to head off and explore Freycinet National Park. Specifically, the hike that we're doing today is going to be up to Mount Amos, which is going to give us one of the best views of Wineglass Bay.
It's going to be quite epic because we are hoping for a decent sunrise, but we're not starting off too early to really experience sunrise up there, mostly because this track has a rock scramble. After this 15-minute easy path, we're going to be scrambling quite a bit, and we didn't want to do it completely in the dark, especially because early morning the rocks are quite dewy, and that could mean slippery and dangerous.
Yeah, and this is really meant for if you're really comfortable with scrambling. Scrambling essentially means that you're going to be climbing with your feet as well as your hands. We've heard people have done it in like an hour going up. It might take a little longer because it is dark, so we'll see.
We won't lie to you, the Mount Amos hike is not an easy one. As we mentioned, you'll need to use your hands for several sections, but that's not the worst part. We were very fortunate that it was a dry morning, so no dew formed on the boulders. But if there are hints of water on the rock faces, it can become very slippery and dangerous. There is an alternative to summiting Mount Amos, which is to head to the Wineglass Bay Lookout. This is a track fit for almost anyone, and it still provides an incredible vista. But if Mount Amos is in your wheelhouse, as you'll see, the views are second to none.
It might seem a little bit intimidating how wide the rock slabs are, so you feel like you might get lost. But honestly, it's really well marked. Follow these yellow triangles, and you'll be up in no time. Oh, okay. Okay, not so bad. So far, no hands yet. No hands just yet.
I can't believe that we are seeing Wineglass Bay with our own eyes, and the sand is so white, even with the morning light hitting it.
Yeah, we spent an entire hour up here just enjoying the views, enjoying that soft light. We can see both of these bays, which is so iconic. We also see Coles Bay out in the back. And as we're hiking up here, you can see so many different areas around here. Like, you truly get a 360 view.
It's so amazing because you don't just have one little viewpoint either. You can just roam around a little bit, rock climb here and there. So there are more rocks to scramble once you get to the top, but it's so much fun.
It's also not busy at all. So far, in total of our entire time being up here, we've only seen 4 other people. And because of how massive the space is, you really don't feel like you're cramped at all. And also the trek up was easier than we expected.
Yeah.
It took us 55 minutes to climb up. We were rushing a little bit because we're trying to make the sunrise, but I do feel like on the way down, we're gonna take a lot longer.
There was this wet patch as we came up, and even as we were climbing up, you could just feel how slippery it was. And as soon as the bottoms of your shoes are wet, then even when you step on a dry, sloped rock, it's still slippery. So we definitely recommend do not do it, even if it's remotely wet or if it rained the night before. Our final area for the adventures on the eastern side of Tasmania is going to be the Bay of Fires. It's such a long stretch along the northeast coastline of Tasmania, and it's known for its signature red-orange rocks as well as pristine white sand beaches. We got a bit of a taste of it when we were at Bicheno at Red Bills Beach, but here it's just continuous. There's so many places to stop at as well, and we're starting off with the most popular area, Bennelong Bay.
We pulled up at Bailey's Beach, which had some of the whitest sand we've ever laid eyes on and brilliant turquoise waters. There are so many places to stop at, like the Gardens or Suicide Beach, so really take your time to explore the area. Several great spots for swimming are scattered along the vast coastline as well, which are usually located close to the campsites. We hope you guys enjoyed exploring with us along the east coast of Tasmania, and we'll catch you guys on our next adventure.